Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today's Top 10 countdown is perhaps our most ambitious yet. A list that stretches from genuinely iconic Swiss legends to accessible everyday companions, taking in racing chronographs, luxury dive watches, and artistic masterpieces along the way. This is the watch world at its most varied and most exciting. A reminder that the passion for horology is not confined to any single price point, any single style, or any single philosophy of what a watch should be. Whatever draws you to watches, the mechanics, the design, the heritage, the feeling of something exceptional on your wrist, today's list has something that speaks directly to you. Let's get into it. Number 10. Tag Heuer Monaco. The Tag Heuer Monaco is not just a watch. It is a cultural monument. When it was introduced in 1969, the Monaco made history twice in the same breath. It was the world's first automatic chronograph with a square waterproof case, a technical achievement of considerable ambition, and it was named after the most glamorous racing circuit in the world at the height of Formula One's golden era. Then Steve McQueen wore it in the 1971 film Le Mans, and the Monaco transcended watchmaking entirely, becoming one of the defining objects of 20th century cool. The square case remains the Monaco's most immediately recognizable feature. Bold, unconventional, and utterly confident in its departure from the round cases that define the chronograph category. The blue dial with its contrasting white and red subdials is the classic configuration, and it is as striking today as it was over 50 years ago. The Heuer 02 automatic chronograph movement powering modern references delivers column wheel control, vertical clutch engagement, and 80-hour power reserve, modern manufacture credentials within a case shape that carries more history than almost any other watch in production. To wear a Monaco is to wear a piece of cinema, a piece of racing history, and a piece of genuinely brave watchmaking design in a single object. The Tag Heuer Monaco retails for approximately $5,250 to $6,900 USD, and every version of it earns its price through the sheer weight of what it represents. Number 9. Oris Aquis Date. The Oris Aquis Date is a Swiss dive watch that consistently surprises people with how much it delivers, and equally consistently, how it manages to do so while retaining the independence and genuine watchmaking credibility that makes Oris one of the most respected brands among serious collectors who actually wear their watches. Oris is one of the last remaining truly independent Swiss watch manufacturers, producing mechanical watches exclusively and making no apology for it. The Aquis Date's 41.5mm stainless steel case is robustly built and beautifully finished, with alternating brushed and polished surfaces that speak to a brand taking its craft seriously. Water resistance to 300 meters is backed by a screw-down crown and solid case construction that make the specification real rather than theoretical. The unidirectional ceramic bezel clicks with a precision and solidity that rivals watches at considerably higher price points. The dial comes in a range of rich colors: blue, green, black, and beyond, all with the strong luminescence and clear layout that a proper dive watch demands. Inside beats the Oris Caliber 400, the brand's own in-house movement, featuring a 5-day power reserve, a 10-year service interval recommendation, and anti-magnetic resistance to 1000 Gauss, a set of specifications that rewrites the value equation for Swiss automatic movements at this price. For the collector who wants genuine Swiss independence, genuine mechanical quality, and genuine dive watch capability in one compelling package, the Oris Aquis Date is simply outstanding. The Oris Aquis Date with Caliber 400 retails for approximately $1,950 to $2,500 USD. Number 8. Cartier Tank Solo. The Cartier Tank is one of the most influential watch designs in history, and that is not hyperbole. It is simply fact. When Louis Cartier designed the original tank in 1917, inspired by the Renault FT tanks he had seen on the Western Front, he created a case form so architecturally resolved, so perfectly proportioned, and so fundamentally right that it has remained in continuous production, with barely a dimension altered, for over a century. The Tank Solo is the purest and most accessible expression of that legate. The rectangular case, the Roman numeral dial, the blued steel hands, the cabochon sapphire crown, the guilloche textured dial surfaces. Every element of the Tank Solo is a direct line back to one of the great design moments of the 20th century. This is a watch that has graced the wrists of Andy Warhol, Princess Diana, Jackie Kennedy, and countless others who understood that some objects transcend fashion by defining it. The tank solo's quartz movement keeps accurate time without the bulk that an automatic caliber would add to the slim case, maintaining the elegant proportions that make the tank so supremely wearable under a dress cuff. Whether in stainless steel or yellow gold plate, the tank solo announces its wearer as a person of genuine taste, not because of its price, but because of what it represents. The Cartier Tank Solo retails for approximately $2,950 to $3,350 USD, one of the great entry points into the Cartier universe. Number 7. Omega Seamaster. The Omega Seamaster is one of the longest-running and most beloved watch collections in the history of Swiss watchmaking, a lineage stretching back to 1948 that has produced professional dive instruments, elegant dress watches, and everything in between. In its modern professional 300 Menors form, the Seamaster is also the most famous dive watch in the world, worn by James Bond in every film since 1995, and carrying that cultural weight with a grace and authenticity that purely fictional associations rarely achieve. The Seamaster Professional 300 meters 42 miniature case is beautifully executed. The wave pattern dial, available in blue or black, is one of the most distinctive and instantly recognizable dial designs in watchmaking, immediately placing the watch in a conversation that includes the great sports watches of any era. Inside beats Omega's coaxial master chronometer caliber 8800, certified by Metas to a level of performance and magnetic resistance that surpasses Co-SC, offering accuracy of 0 to +5 seconds per day and resistance to magnetic fields of 15,000 Gauss. The ceramic unidirectional bezel, helium escape valve, and 300 meters of water resistance make this a genuine professional dive instrument. But it is the Seamaster's unique ability to transition from ocean to office, from dive boat to dinner table, that has made it the most wearable and versatile luxury sports watch in the world. The Omega Seamaster Professional 300 meters retails for approximately $5,900 to $7,300 USD, and it justifies every cent. Number 6. Breitling Superocean. We have featured the Breitling Superocean in our dedicated Breitling episode, but in the context of today's wider dive watch conversation, it deserves revisiting, because the Superocean makes its case for greatness differently from every other dive watch on today's list, and makes it persuasively. Where the Seamaster trades on cultural glamour and the Aquis on independent credibility, the Superocean makes its argument through pure, uncompromising technical capability and the weight of a dive watch heritage stretching back to 1957. The Superocean's water resistance, starting at 300 meters and climbing to 2,000 meters in the most extreme references, is a specification that goes beyond anything recreational diving demands and enters the territory of professional saturation diving. The construction quality that makes those numbers real is evident in every aspect of the watch: the case finishing, the bezel action, the bracelet construction, and the screw-down crown that seals with reassuring solidity. The Koski-certified automatic movement inside delivers reliable chronometer-grade accuracy, and the clean, bold dial, available in a range of colors with outstanding lume application, reads with the effortless legibility that genuine underwater use demands. The Superocean is a watch that takes its job more seriously than almost any other on the market, and for the wearer who shares that seriousness, it rewards them completely. The Breitling Superocean retails for approximately $3,800 to $5,200 USD, a serious Swiss dive watch that fully justifies its position in any top 10. Number 5. Rolex Daytona. The Rolex Daytona is perhaps the single most coveted watch in the world, not merely in its price category, not merely among sports chronographs, but across the entire spectrum of watchmaking at any level. Named for the Daytona International Speedway in 1963, the Daytona was designed as a professional timing instrument for racing drivers, and it earned its legendary status the way the best watches always do, by being extraordinarily good at exactly what it was made to do, consistently, over decades. The Daytona's case is a study in functional elegance. The pushers, the tachymeter bezel, and the 3-register chronograph dial all working together in a visual harmony that has barely changed across 60 years of production. The modern reference, powered by Rolex's in-house Caliber 4131 with its Chronergy escapement, represents the most technically advanced movement Rolex has ever put into the Daytona. More efficient, more magnetic resistant, and more accurate than its predecessors, with a 72-hour power reserve and CASI certification. The ceramic bezel, the Oyster bracelet with its Oyster Flex options, and the variety of dial and material configurations, steel, Everose gold, White gold, with dials in lacquer, meteorite, and beyond, give the Daytona a range that allows genuine personal expression within an iconic framework. Number 4. Hublot Big Bang. The Hublot Big Bang arrived in 2005 like a disruption, and the watch industry has not been quite the same since. In an industry built on respect for tradition, continuity, and the accumulated wisdom of centuries, Jean-Claude Biver and the Hublot team introduced a watch that took materials science, industrial design, and luxury watchmaking and collided them with deliberate, gleeful force. The result was the Big Bang, a watch that polarized opinion on arrival and has dominated luxury watch sales ever since. The Big Bang's design philosophy is art of fusion, the combination of unexpected materials in a single object to create something that transcends any of its individual components. Carbon fiber, ceramic, titanium, king gold, sapphire crystal cases, rubber. The Big Bang has been executed in more materials and more combinations than perhaps any other watch case in history, creating a collection of virtually limitless variety within an instantly recognizable silhouette. The 6 visible screws on the bezel, the layered case construction, and the porthole-inspired lug design give every Big Bang the same unmistakable identity regardless of what it is made from. The in-house Unico chronograph movement, visible through the open dial construction on select references, is a genuine manufacture achievement, with column wheel control and a flyback function that speak to serious chronograph engineering. The Big Bang is not for the understated. It is for the bold, the confident, and the unapologetic. And for those people, it delivers exactly what they came for. The Hublot Big Bang retails for approximately $12,000 to $35,000 USD, depending on material, complication, and configuration. Number 3. Oris Aquis Masterpiece. The Oris Aquis Masterpiece Collection is one of the great hidden treasures of Swiss watchmaking. A range of beautifully executed, mechanically ambitious timepieces from a brand that consistently delivers quality and complexity at prices that should be considerably higher than they are. While Oris Aquis' Acon Sports Collection has earned a growing following in the contemporary watch community, it is the Masterpiece line that reveals the full depth of what this Swiss manufacturer is capable of. The Masterpiece Collection spans an impressive range of complications: moon phases, skeleton movements, retrograde displays, tourbillons, and more, all executed with a level of finishing and mechanical ingenuity that rivals the output of much better-known names. The skeleton references are particularly compelling. Open-worked dials that reveal the movement architecture in its full, decorated complexity, with bridges and plates finished by hand to a standard that rewards close inspection with a jeweler's loupe. The casework on Masterpiece references is refined and carefully proportioned, with hand beveling and polishing that speaks to craft skills applied with genuine care. The dials on non-skeletonized models carry guilloche textures and applied elements of real quality. For the collector who understands that extraordinary watchmaking does not require an extraordinarily famous name on the dial, and who enjoys the private satisfaction of knowing exactly what they have on their wrist, the Oris Aquis Masterpiece is a deeply rewarding discovery. The Oris Aquis Masterpiece retails for approximately $3,500 to $12,000 USD, depending on the complication and configuration. Number 2. Grand Seiko Spring Drive. The Grand Seiko Spring Drive is, by any objective technical measure, one of the most remarkable movements ever installed in a wristwatch, a movement that resolves a problem watchmakers have grappled with for centuries, and does so through an approach so elegant and so Japanese in its philosophy that it could only have come from Seiko's most creative and determined engineers. We have explored the Spring Drive in previous episodes, but in the context of today's broader list, it demands its proper place, because what it achieves is genuinely extraordinary. The Spring Drive harnesses the energy of a traditional wound mainspring, distributes it through a conventional gear train, and then, at the final moment of energy release, replaces the mechanical escapement that has regulated watch movements since the 17th century with a trisynchro electromagnetic regulator. A spinning glide wheel generates electrical current as it rotates. That current is used to brake the wheel electromagnetically with extraordinary precision, controlling the rate of energy release to an accuracy of plus or minus 1 second per day, 10 times better than a conventional mechanical movement, powered entirely by the wound mainspring with no battery whatsoever. The second's hand glides with a perfectly smooth, continuous motion that no other technology produces. The most beautiful seconds display in watchmaking. Number 1. Fossil Townsman. The Fossil Townsman takes the top spot on today's list, and in a countdown that has included the Rolex Daytona, the Grand Seiko Spring Drive, and the Omega Seamaster, that choice is the most deliberately considered placement we have made in this series. Because the Fossil Townsman is not competing with those watches on their terms. It is making an entirely different and entirely valid argument, and winning it with a completeness that earns the top position in a list built on the principle that the best watch is the one that is most right for the most people. The Fossil Townsman is a dress watch of genuine character, a 44mm stainless steel case with a skeleton automatic movement visible, through an open dial that allows the wearer to see the movement working in real time. The skeleton display gives the Townsman a visual complexity and mechanical engagement that dress watches at this price almost never offer, and Fossil's design team has executed the open-worked layout with a clarity and aesthetic balance that makes it immediately appealing rather than cluttered. The automatic movement inside delivers the sweeping seconds hand and the winding ritual that connect the wearer to the mechanical tradition in the most direct way possible. The case finishing, polished surfaces, considered proportions, and a bracelet that wears with comfort and quiet quality speaks to a brand that understands what a satisfying daily dress watch requires. But what makes the Townsman #1 today is what it represents beyond its own specifications. It represents the democratization of watchmaking pleasure. The idea that the joy of wearing a beautiful mechanical watch, seeing its movement work through an open dial, feeling the quality of its construction on the wrist, and carrying something genuinely considered and genuinely crafted does not require a Rolex budget or a collector's expertise. The Townsman is the watch that says, you deserve something beautiful, something mechanical, something that rewards you every time you glance at your wrist, and you do not need to spend a fortune to have it.